The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. He missed the complete. He's crazy.
Side by side, Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
You have seen numerous short tracks raced in the Bootleg Racing League. All different styles, shapes, and speeds. Nothing compares to where the Outlaws are at tonight. Only one track has earned a nickname, like the last great Coliseum and the world's fastest half mile. That track is Bristol. Welcome to round 6 of the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw Modified Series at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Chris Scala with the short track extraordinaire Sean Ambrose, as always, there with me. Joe Peak taking care of things in the control center, and Dougie Beard, as always, on cameras. Last week, the Outlaws were out west gambling at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas, a 4/10 mile track. We saw some great racing out there. We did see some yellow, unfortunately, 10 cautions to be exact. But we saw a very familiar winner. Dustin Powers started on the pole, led the first 2 laps. Phil Temples, he stuck his nose in his business and got 3 laps led on his end, but in the end, J.R. Shepard took control on lap 5 and led the rest of the 95 laps to score his 2nd win of the season in a very exciting race there at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas to leave us in a pretty close race for the points, and we'll talk about that here in a minute as I welcome in Mr. Sean Ambrose. Sean, there's nothing like Bristol. Nothing. Half-mile high bank track that separates the men from the boys. Talk about the last great Coliseum.
You know, Chris, it's the 4th largest sports venue in the United States. It's the 8th largest in the world. About 162,000 people can cram in here. The track is so short that speeds here are far lower than is typical of most NASCAR oval tracks, but they are very fast compared to other short tracks due to the high banking, sir. Yes, high banking. 5.533 mile oval with 26 to 30 degrees. That used to be 36 degrees on the old surface, and then they resurfaced it and cut it down just a bit. Well, the best way to take a look at that is to hop in the GSRC SK Modified and take a quick trip around Bristol Motor Speedway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around the Bristol Motor Speedway, the GSRC SK Miles. Without further ado, here we go. Off of turn 4, down this incredibly short track, down here into turn 1, lift off the throttle, maybe just a hair, let it roll up to the middle, and then diamond it straight back up, down the back stretch, split in the middle, down into turn 3 again, maybe lift a little bit, let it come up, then back down off of 4. Now as the race progresses, you may see guys start to move around a little bit. They might start to go up here and try to get a nice big run down the back stretch on whoever they're racing. And then, you know, because Bristol, the way it's built, this progressive banking, you can run all the way anywhere, but you could see maybe enter high, come off the corner bottom, across the line. That's going to complete our track guide here around Bristol. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
That is a lap around the Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, Chris is with a driver who started on the pole last week. He has had his fair share of bumps and bruises with the Outlaws. Chris is caught up with Dustin Powers.
I say bumps and bruises, and then just literally an hour or less than an hour ago, he goes and wins a truck race here at Bristol. So, Dustin, obviously showing your strength here this evening on this half-mile track. Talk about your confidence going into tonight's race.
Hey, man, it feels really good. I'm confident. Been working hard, a lot of good competition in here, and just trying to get better, man. Only been on iRacing for a little over 6 months now, but yeah, just trying to work hard and super excited with the truck win I just got.
Talk about some of the things you've learned. Obviously, throughout the couple months now you've been here at the Outlaws, of course, on iRacing, you mentioned for 6 months. What are some things that you've learned from that rookie time?
Kind of backing up the corners and giving room. I've kind of been off on my lines here lately, and I've been working on that a lot harder, and I feel like I'm getting a lot better. So my intentions are to bring competition to this league, you know.
Talk about your momentum now from that truck race. Can you bring that into the Outlaws here and potentially score an upset?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. Actually, I was running faster lap times in a practice earlier, so I'm excited to get out here and run a couple laps, see what kind of laps I can do, and stay consistent and try to get a win.
And before we send you off, I do got to ask one more question to you, Dustin. Do you see the winner of this race being the guy who doesn't let off the throttle for 100 laps?
She gets pretty loose after a while, and you have different positions you put yourself in. I'm sure the winner's gonna have to let out somewhere unless they're up front the whole way and take it all the way. Green flag.
Well, you just never know. That could be you, Dustin. We appreciate your time as always, and best of luck tonight. Congratulations on your truck win.
Thank you. You all have a good night.
Hey, you do the same, Dustin. Dustin Powers joining us here in the number 25 car. We'll see him here in just a couple minutes. Sean, we mentioned the point battle just a couple seconds ago. We always think there's never a way to make a points race tighter, and we happened to do it last week with J.R. Shepard getting the win over Donnie Moore. And how are we looking as we cross the halfway point?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we are looking amazing here. We're having one of the really, really close all-time battles we've had here in this championship, this 2017 summer season. Donnie Moore just clinging to the top of this points championship right now with J.R. Shepard. They're now just a point back. Now Jeff Sharp, Lowell Jewell, Phil Temple's all locked up back there fighting for that third spot. Jeff up a spot, Lowell up a spot. Philly took the tumble there for the week. But you know what? Phil's been on quite a run since the middle of last season. I expect to see him back in this fight, Chris. Who knows? Maybe tonight's the night at Bristol. But tell you what, Lowell, happy to see him in the top 5 in points. But, well, Chris, if you'll look there at your monitor, Lowell running a special paint scheme this evening from all of us here. And we just wanted to say thanks, buddy. And hate to see you go, but we wish you the best on down the road, man.
I appreciate that. I hope Lowell wins now. But the thing is, he put my name on the car, which Lowell, dude, I hope you make it 10 laps because that's not good luck. But with that said, I do appreciate that, and that's cool. So, wow, cool deal. Anyways, yeah, this is where we ad-lib when you're live on the air, and it's like, what do you do now when you just got that twist curveball thrown at you? Sean, let's talk about race details. How about that?
Yeah, let's cover that real quick. Definitely want to let everybody know what's going on here in the SK Modified, the Outlaw Modified League here. Round 6, Chris. 100 laps tonight. Now, you won't need any pit stops to get this race done unless, of course, you get some damage. And, well, when you do, you'll get one free repair. That's it. You can never take tires here in the Bootleg Racing League, or you'll be penalized for it. And one of the really cool storylines that we follow week in and week out is, well, how did they finish last week, and how does that affect this week's race? Well, they invert the grid based on last week's finish, 1 through 10. And an exciting race by J.R. Shepard last week. Well, what does that get him? Well, it gets him to start here in the back tonight. He'll start 10th this evening. That is, of course, if everybody's here, he might start a little bit ahead of that. But always an interesting story to follow. The weather here tonight, Chris, is partly cloudy this evening. 74 ambient and 74 on track. Ooh, I think that means horsepower. Lots of it.
Well, we're going to have a lot of egription tonight. That's going to be pretty cool tonight when we get on this half mile. You're looking at J.R. Shepard right now, 9th fastest, which kind of shocks me a little bit. Don't know if he hasn't put it in 4th gear yet. But anyways, with that said, got a pretty fast race coming up here tonight. I always share a story. I remember running a race once that we had 175 laps, went caution-free, and we lasted all 45 minutes at Bristol. So if this thing goes caution-free, we could be done pretty quickly, so we'll have to see when it's all over with. Now, Sean, we do need to mention this as we're getting closer to October, as we just hit the month of August, believe it or not, already. I know it can fool us up here in New York with the weather right now, but the Pro Truck Series, they're going to be kicking off. They usually run Saturday evenings at 8 o'clock. They're going to be 7 o'clock now, Friday evenings, starting in October. And, of course, the Grand National Series, that is the K&N cars. That rumor has it Sean Ambrose is going to try to squeeze in one of those and go racing at 8 o'clock Friday nights. And then Saturday, street stocks, limited late models, and the Outlaws, of course, at 9 o'clock. As you'll see each and every Saturday night, the only short track series on GSRC and on iRacing Live you can watch coming up again through the next season on Saturday nights. But keys for tonight, Sean, I might have to modify the first one here because 99% of cars that run at Bristol, the High Line is the fastest way around the track. We're learning quickly with these Outlaws that the bottom's the fastest.
Yeah, well, this low-profile SK Modified really seems to like to squat down there low in the turns, and boy, that does seem to be where the grip is premium right now. Of course, the wider tires probably help that just a bit. But I will tell you one thing. I have seen several cars this evening run side by side here for several laps around, Chris. I think you may see a little of that too. We may have a couple of rows of cars that decide to go side by side, try and get some rubber in that middle upper groove there, and who knows, maybe by the end of about 85 to 90 laps, we'll see them actually fight from the top side to try and get around.
Which means we're going to have an old school Bristol race. So for those who are been complaining to certain national racing companies, won't mention names, about putting the bottom line back into Bristol, you get your wish tonight on iRacing. Congratulations to that. Second key, and I was going to say this because of the high line again, but in the case of the low line being the fastest, this is going to be one of the tougher tracks to pass at.
It is. I think you're going to need a little bit of help from behind. You're going to need to get some guys to work with you. Take Daytona, shrink it down to a short track. I don't know if this is going to be exactly like that, but I think, in a sense, you are going to need a little help from the guy behind you to maybe get that move around the outside, because they're going so fast. Everybody on the limit with this fixed setup. The passing opportunities are going to be tough to come by now. Certainly at the speeds we're traveling, Chris, guys are going to make mistakes, and you got to be really sharp, on your toes, ready to react to that. Hopefully take advantage of it and not get caught in the mess, because when a mess starts here, it gets really, really messy. Cars go flying all over the place.
Yeah, Bristol's what they call a self-cleaning track. So if a wreck happens up top, guess what? What comes up must come down. That whole law thing, yeah, it comes into play here at Bristol usually. But last key for tonight, J.R. Shepard won last week at Vegas there in the Bull Ring, carrying the momentum now. He's only 1 point back at Donnie Moore. Can he continue that tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he did win the street stock race earlier. Certainly that's indicative of a guy who's probably hooked up here. But, man, things have been a little up and down here in the modified ranks this season. I certainly like a guy like Dustin Powers to maybe win this race. Boy, he handled that truck really well around here. Maybe David Loomis. He looked good in the street stocks earlier. Hung on to get a podium finish there as well. So I think there's several guys with an outside chance of winning this race. I go back to the Daytona/Talladega thing. Bristol's kind of one of those places where you need a little bit of luck, a little help to get it done. Maybe tonight we see a first-time winner this season. I think it's anybody's race.
I couldn't help but notice as we were just looking on pit road there. I couldn't remember what car we were looking at there, Sean, but I kind of got distracted and noticed a pit crew moving. I've never seen that for some reason. But that's just me. I guess I need to turn my graphics up on my computer, but that just shows you top quality stuff here. I thought the one guy was telling me hi. But anyways, with that said, you mentioned a couple guys that could potentially win here at Bristol, and anybody can win at Bristol. It's almost like Bristol picks its winners of who crosses that start-finish line first when it's all over with tonight. So who do you think, Sean? Who do you see going up there on top of the garage in Turn 3 in Victory Lane?
Boy, put me on the spot there. Phil Temples. I think Phil wants to get back up in the points, and the only way he's really going to get that done right now is to get himself a win. Get out here and win one of these. And Bristol, not a bad track to do it at. He is awful fast in practice right now.
He is fast, and he's also got a new number there for some reason, number 12 on the Florida driver's car. Yeah, so that should be pretty interesting. I do know a guy who drives number 12 that I race with a lot, doesn't do too well, but we'll see. Anyways, hopefully Phil does well, unlike that usual number here. So, expectations tonight, Sean. Do you think we're going to see a lot of drafting tonight? Like, kind of, I bring up the Xfinity race from Indy a few weeks ago. I know it was a bigger track here, but with these modifieds, the restrictor plate that these cars run, you see drafting being a huge factor.
Yeah, I do. I do think it's going to be a factor. I think that goes back to what I was talking about a little while ago about trying to pull off a pass. I think if you see 2 or 3 cars get to the top side, they'll use that draft to their advantage to slingshot around cars on the lower group. We'll keep our eyes on that. There's only 14 cars. They get split up a bit. That's going to be a harder thing to deal with. You need a little bit of traffic to make that work. So we'll see how they get spread out. But now it's time to call out the grid for tonight's race.
Sure is. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Outlaw 100 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. David Loomis going to start on the pole, and there's your pick right there on the outside, Phil Temples.
Row 2. Lucas Stenziano is back in the number 27, and Jeff Kendrick going to start right outside him in 4th.
Dustin Powers, he'll start inside there, row number 3. Does he have the tools to get to victory lane in the DeWalt car? We'll see. Lil Jewel going to start outside in row 3.
Row 4 going to be Mr. Donnie Moore starting 7th, and J.R. Shepard, the defending champion, in 8th.
Brandon Limecooler, the Mountain Dew car, going to start there in the 9th position alongside Chip Dickert.
And row 6 going to be Ryan Detzler and John Hine.
And last but certainly not least, another guy named John Holcomb, that is, alongside Indiana's Kurt Smith, going to start in the 14th position. 100 laps around this track. As you mentioned, 53.3 miles. It's going to be very quick. Laps around here, 15 seconds or so? So that's 4 laps a minute. So if you do the math, which you know what? Since this is my last time, I'm doing math, Sean. That's 25 minutes if we go caution free.
Yeah, I think our record is like 21 and a half minutes. We'll see.
Are you running the centripetal circuit?
No, many seasons ago, and golly, Chris, I have trouble remembering sometimes, but it seems like we got a race in, I want to say maybe it was at Langley, and it went green the whole way, and we got it done in just over 21 minutes. Crazy.
Well, maybe we'll have that tonight. Last couple of weeks have been a little bit wild. Bristol, well, that's a whole nother wild we're about to see here. Is the pace car going to hang a left as it's on the back straightaway? You might as well ignore those pits on the back stretch because everybody will be on the front for this race if they need to repair their car, because that's pretty much the only thing you can do. Sean, I think it's that time, buddy.
It's time. Let's boogie, baby.
Let's do it. Let's boogie and let's send it because it's Bristol, baby. Green flag, David Loomis. Phil Temple's on the outside as they try to fight to that bottom line of 1. And look at Chip, did I say Chip Digger? It looked like Chip Digger. The 62 of Kendrick actually sliding up that top groove to see if it can get some work out of it. But that bottom line is coming to life.
Old Jewel getting a big run there in the top groove.
Took a whole lap for those cars to get up to full song there.
Kendrick.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Kendrick Hine and Jewel still caught up on the high side. Oh. Kendrick gets in line. Lowell's still stuck up top there, Chris.
Not as organized there on that outside. That bottom line going to work. The first, 8 guys, single file here. Chip Dicker being that last one in line. Brandon Limecooler up to the 9th position, but Lowell Jewell started 6th. And right now that reverse light is on, it looks like, in his cars. He's all the way back to 12th.
Hello.
Dustin Powers going to 3rd. Past Stinziano, that man carrying the momentum.
Yeah, and now it's Donnie Moore down right there below Stinziano. Stinziano running up the track. There's JR Shepard down there also.
This totally looks like a race in the 90s at Bristol. Inside line, if you're on the outside, you're going by. Makes you want to go off the computer tonight and watch like an old Bristol race.
Man, where did Lowell Jewell wind up? How about all the way at the back of the field? All down to 14th. That's what the top line got him.
He started 5th and ended up in Virginia. As we got a battle for the lead, Phil Temples underneath the 91 move, the 12 to the top. And for those who haven't seen the Geico commercial, Bristol, Tennessee borders Bristol, Virginia. Battle back here for 4th, JR Shepard. The 2-point leaders going for 4th. Going to pass Donnie Moore. Finds a slot right there. Or maybe he's actually going to battle it up. He's going to fill the inside there. But I haven't heard anybody let off the throttle yet. We've been wide open for 8 laps already.
Boy, Brandon Limecooler really struggling with the car at the back of the field. He got just a bit of piece of turn 4 as he was going by it. Now he's got Lowell Jewell there on the inside trying to get that spot back.
Oh, he's going to almost scrape the wall there again as Jewell pushes him up the track, but Lowell going to go by at 5.
Oy.
Hey, that's tight racing.
And here they are, line to stern, all the way around Bristol Motor Speedway. John Holcomb looking to the inside of Chip Dickert. Oh, yeah, he's going to send it. It's there, Chris. Oh, Chip.
Oh, Stinziano spins up 2. Chip Dickert involved. Also, the 75. Caution is out. Add Limecooler to that also, but John Hine involved, 4 cars. And it looks like Stinziano started it there, maybe clipped the apron.
I'll tell you what, the 75, the unluckiest driver in the world, John Hine, he just coming by there, and Chip just barely clipped the right rear of his car.
Yeah, it looked like Stinziano actually just lost it in the mid-corner here.
Yeah, he did.
On board with John Hine.
Yeah, you're going to see him. He's just innocent bystander here, and you see Dickert up top. He's going to clip the rear, and he hits hard all the way around. Another car we should probably go on board with is the 2. If we can catch the on board with Ryan Detzler. Detzler going to wind up under John Hines' car here. Detzler was trying to get through.
That'll get what they call the Ghost 4X in iRacing.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you go, right in the living room, and no damage. The Ghost 4X.
Imagine if you were watching that like on 100-inch or something right now in HD. That's probably pretty exciting.
Let's see. I think I saw somebody on here watching for the first time a few minutes ago on chat. Which, by the way, if you are chatting with us, appreciate it. On the GSRC YouTube channel. Of course, you're watching us on iRacing Live. See if I can scroll back and find that guy who said he was watching for the first time. He was talking about buying iRacing, so go get it.
You too can race Bristol Motor Speedway. Absolutely. I remember when they added this track, I was so excited, so happy.
Jordan Harris looks like that guy's name watching us tonight. Talking about buying iRacing, watching a stream for the first time. You see Temple's leading. David Loomis, Dustin Powers, J.R. Shepard, Donnie Moore, your top 5 as they'll cool down these balonies, as you like to call them there, Sean, and we'll go back racing.
Well, good on Lowell Jewell, man. He managed to escape a bad start. He's got himself back up to 10th. That's an important spot there, Chris.
And according to Matt LaVenture, 107-inch projector screen is watching us tonight. How's your wall doing there, Sean? Or Matt? Anyways. Here's the bad news about Lowell, though. He's on the outside. Again. We'll have to see here. Is that Ford Mustang pace car? Amjad Yamin driving that thing tonight. I did find that out before the race, by the way.
Okay, good. I'm glad you checked with him. I'm glad he's got duty tonight.
Well, I'm surprised he's not driving it faster. But anyways, pace car's off. Temple's going to lead him back to the green here. Ooh, Loomis tried to get a time there, and wow, not a good start for him. Yar's putting a horn to him. It's like, go, giddy up, cowboy.
Philly was on it quick, man.
Dustin Powers going to go to second. Here comes Donnie Moore trying to get third. That outside line getting shuffled.
Lowell Jewell was able to drop in real quick. Good battle between Lime Cooler and the 6 of Kurt Smith right in front of him.
Loomis hooks the 69, and Shepard's in it. Lime Cooler in it.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
John Holcomb gets turned. J.R. Shepard's got an engine smoking, but Loomis got loose.
Maybe just a little more tight there, Chris. You're going to see the car turn left, actually.
Oh, maybe a push loose?
Yeah, and then collects Holcomb, and you see the 98 there come right across Lime Cooler in the 61. All 3 of those cars get some pretty good damage.
Well, you know what?
In fact, I'm sorry, Chris, but J.R. Shepard's smoking heavily.
He's got the smoke. Get the grill. But look at it again here. I want to see where Loomis was running on the track, because you got to remember, there is the transition of banking, and you wonder if he was straddling that and it got the car upset. We're going to go on board with David Loomis here. Let's see.
He was right in the middle of the groove here.
You see those lines on the track? They're kind of hard to see, but there's lines that kind of tell you where the groove. Yeah, look how you just either got loose or turned down or something there, but you always look at all options there. Precaution 2 on the track. And a tough break for J.R. Shepard. He is going to get the reset done. He'll be 11th now on the lead lap behind, and Lime Cooler, you're only 2 a lap down right now.
Well, we've knocked down 20 laps.
We did? Wow.
We did. Seems like we just got started.
And according to my elapsed time on screen, I see 10 minutes. That just tells you how it's like here. But right now, that Hamilton position, J.R. Shepard, maybe he's just going to sit there and then go on next week to 5 flags.
No,
that's not J.R.
That's not happening.
The likeliness of that is the Miami Dolphins not signing Jacob. Well, that's happening too.
Bristol Motor Speedway. Another interesting fact about Bristol, yes, it does sit on the Tennessee side. Did you know it's 485 miles from Bristol, Tennessee to Memphis, Tennessee. 485.
Are you talking about potentially walking in Memphis?
No. I have walked in Memphis, though.
I
Good
have
town. Good barbecue. Good music.
Bristol, also the track that hosted the football game last year, Virginia Tech, Tennessee, had the largest capacity football game in history.
Yeah, they've done some interesting things here at Bristol Motor Speedway over the years. They've even run dirt here. That was pretty interesting.
That was some fun stuff back in the day. Yeah. But there is one fact that people might not know about Bristol, and I'm going to trivia you on this one. Sean Ambrose, before we go green, has Bristol ever had a cup race go caution free?
Yes, and I think it was like 1971 or 72.
I believe it was 1960. It was the first one.
Was it?
Caution free.
Okay.
I'll get the winner here in a second, but
yeah. I've heard this one before. I've seen it, and not putting my finger on the name of the guy right now.
Oh wow, the Temples and Powers kind of touching wheels as they get ready to come to the green here. Temple's like, give me my spot. Here you go, pace car off, green flag back out, Temple's on it. Powers with a good start on that outside, see if he can get to the bottom here, he's going to. And yes, Miami has a football team still, and it's not the football team from that one movie. Was it the Miami Sharks, I think it was?
Oh, don't get me lying.
Everybody single file for the most part until you get back to Shepard. Already up 2 spots. He's past Chip Dicker for position. Going to try to catch Lowell Jewell. And Kurt Smith, the 5 and 6, battling for the 7th position. That's a play on numbers. Lowell getting that 5 car to work that inside. Temples is led pretty much from the start. Donnie Moore running there in that 3rd position ahead of Ryan Detzler. Then you got Lowell Jewell there. Shepard up to 7th now as he's gone by the 62 of Jeff Kendrick. But the conveyor belt, look at it, 9 cars in a draft here. You know, the question obviously becomes when and will these cars have to check up to save some of these tires. You see, one car climbing the wall back here front straight away. Able to save it. I think it was Dickert in the 04. Got a crunched up Diet Coke can now.
Dickert trying to get a little assistance, find a little grip up there.
Oh, David Lewis, we got a barbecue. What's cooking tonight, Sean?
Let's go with pork shoulder.
But
or pork butt.
Shoulder. Anyways. But Ryan Detzler back in that 4th position, Sean, at purple and white number 2.
Yeah, Detzler really coming up through the field to get there. It's been quite a ride. He did start back in 11th.
He's up to that 4th position as I see we're joined in chat by the stage racing guy. As he's declared the Temples won stage 1 apparently.
Yeah.
J.R. Shepard on the move, going
there
for 5th under Jewell.
Going side by side with Lowell, gets a nice run down there at the bottom. Boy, he dipped 2 of those left sides down there and did a really good job of holding it on. Why? Well, because JR's a pro.
Yes. Now, for those who don't know, when I say the stage racing guy, when you look, there's always a certain particular guy that you see at an event. Like there's always the get in the hole guy at a golf event. Caution out.
I think it was Brandon Limecooler.
It is Limecooler.
Limecooler.
So I just see Limecooler, it looks like right now.
Yeah, but you know what? Holcomb had a problem too. Holcomb and Chip Dickert, actually. Or was it Kendrick? Holcomb just got loose. Holcomb got loose.
Oh, wow, yeah. Oh,
he
tagged
overcorrected.
Kendrick. Ooh.
Yeah, he overcorrected, hits Kendrick. Oh, boy. Holcomb having to take the toe in. Car was dead.
Perfect car to get towed in by Lawrence Towing. Getting towed in there. On board here, Limecooler. See what happens to this Mountain Dew car. Do we have our second crunched up can of the night? Yes, we do. Unfortunately, third caution of the night, lap number 34. No wave rounds this time by, but definitely a lot of carnage. You're seeing a lot of looseness after about 5 or 6 laps, Sean. That's what looks like you're getting wide open. You get some of those guys maybe in that dirty air, and all of a sudden they just start losing it a little bit. Anyways, lap 35 in the books.
35. Chat very active tonight, Chris.
I see that.
Lots of people hanging out. Motorsports fan 427, of course, awarded that first stage win to Temples. Let's talk to Lowell, see what he thinks about stages. I think I have an idea of where he stands on that.
Funny about that, Sean, is I was talking about the different guys you see at events, and I get a chance to elaborate on this. There's always a specific guy that goes to different events. I mentioned the getting a hole guy that you always hear yelling at a major in a golf tournament. It's always when the guy hits a strike, get in the hole! There's that guy. And then you got the stand up and blocks your view guy that's sitting in front of you, the row in front, and he's like 400 pounds usually.
Or he's got the big foam cowboy hat on.
Yeah, you see where I'm going here. And there's the, let's see, what other guys do you normally got here? You got the guy that steals the ball from the kid at the baseball game guy. There's so many different guys out there. Yeah, apparently Joe thinks there's a mashed potatoes guy at golf. I don't...
yeah.
I have to look that one up.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the mashed potato guy, actually. I used to love the guys that yelled Tiger Woods every time after he took a swing, when he used to actually play golf competitively. Some people may not remember that, actually.
Oh, yeah. It's the getting a hole guy.
Yeah, I guess it was the same guy. Matt LaVenture watching
I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go there. He wants to be his own man. Let's just say that. Right?
Yeah, leave it. Yeah. Something tells me with the teams he likes in sports that something like that might have him deflated.
All right, Chris. It's time. It's time to get going again here, buddy. As another famous announcer says, it's time. Dustin Powers going to restart from the outside with Philly Two Knuckles there on the front row.
Powers tried to jump to start there, and he got caught sleeping.
Oh, boy. And that's going to cost him because Donnie Moore going to take that spot from him right now. Going to bring J.R. Shepard with him. Dustin, no spot to get down. Here comes Detzler, too.
Detzler coming. How about Kurt Smith up to the 5th position? I'm not going to say, contact. Dustin Powers climbing the wall. He got hip checked by Donnie Moore there.
Boy, how quickly did his fortunes change. He finally slots in front of Lowell Jewell back in 6th.
Well, you know what? He didn't lose too much here. Hopefully his car's okay. They'll keep on digging here. You see Powers right behind Kurt Smith there. He's right behind Ryan Detzler, but Shepard, Donnie Moore trying to catch Temples.
See Shepard here on screen, chasing Donnie. Locked in down there on that bottom line. Shepard right there on the edge.
Just comes down to mistakes now, basically, because when you're in a draft and you're running lap times on top of another, it just comes down to mistakes now. Gain of position as you see Dustin Powers underneath Kurt.
Trying to get it back.
Gets squeezed and loose. Hold on, young fella.
And Chris, I'm not seeing the car get loose so much as I'm seeing it really get a little bit tight there. When you're down low off exit there, that's the 3rd or 4th time I've seen that.
I think that's where it goes back to the whole push loose thing. For those who don't listen to DW much, you probably don't hear this term a lot, but he always talks about push loose. That's where you're in the corner and your car slides and you turn the wheel so much, but then all of a sudden your back end snaps once it grips.
JR finding a little bit of grip now, getting a run here on Donnie Moore. Boy, the pace Phil Temples is throwing down. I love it.
Let me tell you some lap times here. Temples 5.53, 5.48 for Moore, 5.75 for Shepard. That's how tight it is here. It's all about the draft, really, and just momentum. How about John Hine back here in the... Oh, and he spins as I say that. Look out, Lowell Jules spinning. I told you should have put my name on your car.
Yeah, and Lowell, that's just Lowell trying to avoid it all, to be honest with you. He made a bit of an evasive move. And, you know, maybe not, actually. Maybe Lowell started to lift there. Watching Hine on screen here, the car just gets loose on him. He goes around inside retaining wall. I think Lowell started to lift when he saw Hine down there spinning, and his lifting caused his car to come around. See if you hear him get out of the throttle here.
Yeah, I was just actually about to mention how John was running there in the 7th position, doing a good job. You're going to see him get loose. So, and Lowell's loose right there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was loose in the middle of the corner, actually. He got a little bit far down close to the apron there, and that's when the car kind of rocked on him. He started to roll up the track, and it rocked back on him again, and he spins it.
Now, we're going to throw a little joke in here real quickly. Joe, I don't know if we can get to the pace car right as the caution comes out, but we have proof that Amjad is our driver of the pace car tonight. I found the proof watching him as he pulled out here this evening. If we can get it, that'd be cool. If not, then I'll try to explain it. But pretty much left a nice sized burnout, leaving the stall, as you'll see here. And watch the front tires as he tries to go here. You can tell Amjad's driving this thing. We'll see the caution come out here shortly. In case you don't know Amjad, he's one of our directors and broadcasters here at GSRC. He sometimes will drive the pace car.
I think he's having trouble getting it into gear right now. Well,
that wouldn't surprise me either. Joe, we're getting in here.
Hang on. And waiting. Trust me, the payoff's incredible, right, Chris?
Yes. Yeah, oh, absolutely. He's going to be swatting flies here in a second. Unless we're just not lucky enough to get this. See what I did? I ruined everything.
Yeah.
All right. Yep, pace car light. Watch this. Watch his wheels now. Right, left, right. Pulls out, and look at the burnout there going into the corner. Gets out on track, full bores it, and then brake checks the leader. An even better question, rear-wheel drive Mustang car with front-wheel tire burnout marks.
All-wheel drive? Possibly? Maybe someone put an all-wheel drive, maybe it's a Roush conversion Mustang or something with all-wheel drive. I don't know. I'm digging right now. I'm really, really digging. I'm trying to find an answer for us here.
Is it a Shelby 427 in it or something?
Halfway point, Phil Temples, your leader. Oh, what a run this man is having. He's kept it clean.
That's what you got to do to win a race. Get out front there, keep it clean, and your chances of going to victory lane are pretty good. Donnie Moreland on outside. You got J.R. Shepard on the inside. Donnie's been pretty good at restarts for the most part here, so we'll have to see if he can keep that momentum on the high side here, but Temples has definitely played some games on restarts. We'll have to see, and when I say games, I mean in a clean version. Here we go. Pace car going to hang a dead left there. The 26, Donnie Moore on the outside. And that number 12 now. I'm used to seeing the number 19 of Phil Temples on the inside. Temples on it.
He's been just really great on these restarts this evening. Boy, Donnie able to get a really nice run and get himself back down in front of J.R. Shepard here as we get restarted, Chris.
Yeah, great restart there for the leaders. We're already single file. Top 4 cars. Dustin Powers back up the 4th. Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years or weeks.
Detzler really struggling on that restart. He got stuck up by the wall there. It drops all the way back to 6th place.
Yeah, Detzler there, and he's got Jeff Kendrick there behind him in the 62. Look at this. Everybody single file all the way around the track. The conveyor belt at work.
You know, Phil Temple's in the best spot on this track, Chris. I don't have to tell you. You know what it takes to get around Bristol. But, man, if you've got clean air in front of you, it's pretty much an effortless drive, especially in this modified.
Well, yeah, because you got all the weight transition of the car, and when you're not able to get all the downforce on your nose, your car is going to drive a different way, and that's where I think a lot of these spins have actually contributed from that situation because you got cars in dirty air back here.
Even Dustin Powers just then out of turn 2.
Oh, Kurt Smith up the track.
Yeah, Kurt really struggling there. Oof. That's a spot for Detzler, though. Detzler takes advantage of that, Chris.
He does, and Kurt falls back to 5th. Meanwhile, John Hyde back here trying to hold on for his life as he's on the inside of Lowell Jewell. I watched Hyde get all types of sideways, swatting some flies there. I noticed Kyle Larson used that term in a race this week. I should copyright that. 60 laps in the books. Donnie Moore chasing Phil Temples, who's trying to get his first win on the season. Donnie Moore's won 2 races. J.R. Shepard's won 2 races. Jason Garrett, your other winner, not here tonight. He's actually at a local short track.
Boy, the points have been just a real seesaw battle this season. And Phil Temples with a win tonight could keep the seesaw going. This is a great battle of the top 3. And I'll tell you what, great job back there by Dustin Powers. He's really keeping these guys close. Detzler also having a strong run. These new guys really showing their worth right now.
Sean, I think J.R. Shepard's found something. Look at the line he's running.
Yeah.
Entering high, coming off low. And he has gained some momentum all of a sudden here. Look at him cut to the bottom here on Donnie Moore. Look at that move. He's going to walk with that position. Wow.
I guess JR had no interest in helping Donnie get a little bit closer to Phil. And said, now, I want to pass you. I want to get to work here on taking this position from Phil Temples.
Yeah, Temples, Shepard, Donnie Moore, your top 3. Dustin Powers now up to 4th, but Shepard definitely experiment with that high line. Wonder if others will see that movie made and try it themselves. But you see Shepard moving up there. Oh, Temples is losing it. Saves it somehow.
Great save by Phil Temples. Man. Powers trying to hang on to the 3rd spot. Let's go on board with Phil Temples here and try and see what happened.
He got loose. He went up the track and then got loose, and then everybody had to scatter. Woo!
Wow. Great catch by Temples. He's got some work to do now, Chris.
Picked a fine time to leave me loose, car. Oh, Dickert's around.
Yeah, Chip right in front of John Hine. It's out of the racing line behind the field. That does not bring out a caution. Here comes the replay of that.
Why? Oh, trouble! Front straightaway. Temples gets turned by Powers. No caution. Temples got loose right in front of Powers, and he had nowhere to go. You'll see that here in a second.
Boy, things just get worse for Phil, and that started with Phil. He started to lose it coming off the turn. Powers, unfortunately, was the guy behind him. Phil started to lose that momentum. Power gives him that shot, and that sends him around. Boy, and he gets back up on track now, right in front of Chip Dickert. Boy, Phil just lost so much there on that.
Phil needs a caution now. And look at Kurt Smith up to 4th. The 6 car. As he gets loose. Yikes. He's on the apron. That's not good. Wow.
Well, we've been here before. Can anybody catch J.R. Shepard now? That answer might be a big fat no.
Well, see how Donnie Moore's car is running.
Yeah.
Dustin Powers, he's definitely been wanting to get a part of this tonight as we got a little less than 30 to go now. Laps ticking off pretty quickly, or laps at about the 15-second range. You haven't seen tire fall off much at all. And one car is spun. Stenziano on the inside. He's got it grilling now.
Boy, and Stenziano already used that fast repair. That might end it for him. He hits it really hard, then takes the toe in.
I've been told to stop saying names. I'm spinning them. So I'm going to do this. The 98's leading. The 26 is second. 25 is third. I'm not saying names anymore.
Wow, 25 has been good, Chris. Been real good. And so is the 2. I'm really impressed by the run that Detzler has had.
Well, you know what? Here's what we do. When the viewers want a caution, just let me know, and I'll say a name.
Go into a random GSRC generator and pull out a name. How about Kurt Smith back here holding off Jeff Kendrick and John Hine for 5th? Kurt, another one of those guys who started at the back, at the very back. He was our 14th car tonight.
Yeah, Kurt started tail end Charlie. All right, he didn't wreck there, so I'm good. But he's had a good run so far as they're kind of spreading out here a little bit up front. Lap car of Chip Dickert going to get lapped here by J.R. Shepard.
Chip sitting in that 10th.
Dustin gets those into 2 spins. I did not say Detzler's name until now.
That was me. Wow.
Oh, and one car, Stinziano, is spun behind him.
Yeah, Stinziano
Stinziano flipped somebody.
Stinziano spins again and starts moving as Phil Temples was getting by. Oh, no.
Caution 5 on the track as you see Stinziano, that Foo Fighters spin. And he's going to make the rule that you don't do in this. You do not roll down the track till everybody's clear.
Boy, tires starting to give up. Everybody having trouble getting out. I think universally, everybody having trouble getting off of turn 2 right now, Chris. That's been the real killer tonight.
They are. J.R. Shepard continues to lead. Donnie Moore, Dustin Powers, Kurt Smith, Jeff Kendrick, your top 5. We're going to step away real quickly. We're going to get a quick break here before we get to the finish of the race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway as you're watching the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway as we have 17 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line. Chip Dickert going to get the wave around. He'll be back on the lead lap and most importantly in the Hamilton position. For those who don't know what that is the 10th position. Hamilton's on the $10 bill and that'll be the pole sitter next week likely at 5 Flags if that result comes out to finish. Now the guy that needed that caution was Phil Temples. He is back now in this lead pack in the 8th position. Now the question is how hurt is his tires after saving that car, Sean?
Well, we're about to find out how hurt those tires are when we get this race restarted, Chris. They cool off a little bit, but boy, if you beat them up really, really hard, they can be tough to recover from. These caution sessions here, though, and these pit flags, I think it's enough time that he should be okay to the finish, unless, of course, he has more trouble. All these cars starting to feel that tire wear and the fall off on them. The speeds they get around here, Chris, it's pretty brutal. Here we go.
16 to go. Shepard on it. Gets a real good restart on Donnie Moore. Gets to the bottom. Dustin Powers. Kurt Smith on that outside.
Boy,
Jeff Kendrick filling that gap in 5th, though. Kurt gets shaky.
Hine almost gets into Kendrick. That was a close moment there. Kurt Smith pulling down in front of Kendrick now. Boy, he's all over the rear bumper of Dustin Powers.
Short track on a Saturday night. This is what we get here in the Outlaws each and every Saturday night, by the way. 14 laps to go. Can anyone get to the Shepherd? Donnie Moore, he is slowly drafting up there, but they're so close together time-wise. Dustin Powers trying to pull off 2 wins tonight.
Boy, you know, I'm not giving up on Kurt Smith here. Kurt showed signs of being able to make a run at this thing here just a moment ago. He's got 11 laps left across the line. That's enough time to do it.
Yeah, the Indiana driver's done a great job tonight. And that's all I'm going to say there. Oh, 75, John Hines
around. John Hines around. He's not in the racing groove.
Tonight, not a good night to be a beverage vehicle.
Not a good night to have to get off of turn 2 either, Chris.
Nope.
Boy, they are
come back. John Hines just getting up to speed with the restrictor plate. That's going to take a little bit.
Hine able to get back up to speed quick.
Donnie Moore clipped the wall a little bit. Dustin Moore is on him now. The Manual of Tools. Not as in like their personalities, but the sponsors.
That was exactly where my mind went there, Chris.
Oh, I thought about it for a second. I was like, well, I might want to correct myself. They are not tools. Both of them are good guys. Oh, Lowell Jewell climbing a wall. The top 5 all separated by, what, about a second and a half or so.
Lowell Jewell trying to get a top 5 finish here. So important to the points. He's got to get around Kendrick to get this done. Kendrick's been solid here after that restart.
Oh, Kurt sliding up the track. These cars starting to get wishy-washy again.
Oh boy, 5 laps to go here.
Oh, Lowell Jewell, the inside of Kendrick. This is for 5th. Oh, Lowell clipped that apron. Oh, he got loose on entry there.
Man, he really, really was. Lowell just hanging it out there. He's got 5th now. He is up to 5th.
Meanwhile, Powers is on the back bumper of Donnie Moore here trying to make a run. Shepherd crossing the line. 3 to go.
He's going to have to move him to get around, Chris.
Bristol moving somebody with a chrome horn. Where have we heard that before?
John Hine coming back out from the pit. Yep.
As we say, laps around Bristol tick off quick. J.R. Shepherd, about a second lead over Donnie Moore right now. He's got the clean air, and he is a half mile away from his 2nd straight win and 3rd on the season.
Boy, Kendrick hit the wall hard coming out of 4. Lowell Jewell trying to take one more spot here.
Coming to the line as Lowell tries to get in position. Shepherd, 3rd win of the season at Bristol. Meanwhile, Lowell not able to get it.
Boy, he made a run there at Kurt Smith. I thought he had something for him up turn 4. It doesn't quite work out. Boy, what a finish to that race.
And I think that'll officially put J.R. Shepherd in the lead here for the points as the fireworks there in Bristol.
And for all the promise and that Phil Temple's had, man, tough break for him. He'll have to pit there late and wind up finishing 10th. I guess that's not all bad, though, is it, Chris?
He pit late and finished 10th. We'll have to investigate that a little bit. But Shepherd gets the win, and Dustin Powers finishing 3rd. We'll talk to the top 3 coming up as Shepherd takes that Polish victory lap. Made famous by Alan Kwiecki, and we'll come back and talk to the winners here on the Global Sim Racing channel. back at the Bristol Motor Speedway as we put a wrap on this one, and for the second straight week, it's J.R. Shepard, Donnie Moore finishing 1-2. Shepard getting his third win of the season here and pretty much propelling himself to the point lead when it's all over with. Of course, that's unofficial until they do put the points out there, but Donnie Moore going to finish second. Dustin Powers third. Kurt Smith, I believe that'll be his career best finish, Sean, in fourth. Lowell Jewell getting another top 5.
Yeah, and Jeff Kendrick going to finish 6th this evening. Ryan Detzler, not a bad run for him. He came up from 11th to finish 7th. Chip Dickard started 10th, finished 8th. John Hine up 3 spots to finish 9th. And Philip Temple's going to finish in the ever so important 10th spot.
And we do want to clarify, Phil did not come to pit road there. We had thought we'd saw Phil on pit road. He did not. He went a lap down there when it was all over with. Stenziano and the rest of these guys finished off track. John Holcomb 12th, Brandon Limecooler 13th, David Loomis in the 14th position, finishing there this evening as we are going to go down to Victory Lane here, which happens to be over in turn 3 on top of the Goodyear building. If you ever seen Victory Lane here at Bristol, it's pretty interesting. So you get to see the whole entire track. Pretty much can see Victory Lane where J.R. Shepard is. Mr. Shepard, a third straight win and a very tough track tonight at Bristol. Talk about your battles and having to fight for that lead.
Man, I tell you, Chris, that was a lot of fun tonight. These SK modifieds, the way they're restricted, these things would really get a good draft, but at the same time, the setup in this thing was pretty loose. So you were kind of hanging on and taking runs when you could get them.
Well, talk about the racing out there, because it seemed like you mentioned it, taking the runs, getting that draft, and I noticed you pulled a move that got you to second and ended up being the winning move once Temples got loose there. But you went to the old school diamonding the corner. It seemed like entering high and coming off low, and it seemed to get you some runs.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of hit upon that by mistake. I was running behind Donnie, and of course was getting a good draft and going into the corner a little bit faster, so the car was pushing up. So I started running a little bit high to get some clean air on the nose, and it worked. So I started going in high and coming off low, and I think Donnie got just a little bit loose during one of those runs, and I was able to get underneath him.
How big is this win now? You're going to propel, I think, unofficially the point lead, if not be tied with Donnie going into next week at Five Flags, but pretty big win for you going into the halfway point.
Yeah, it is. It's still way early, and Donnie's ran a heck of a season so far, and I expect him to be up front every single race from here on out. But it was a lot of fun tonight racing with him and Phil, and that Dustin Powers guy. He's doing pretty good this season. So congratulations to him and Donnie for getting on the podium tonight.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you. Win number 3 on the season, and working your way towards another championship potentially tonight, JR. Nice job.
Hey, thank you. Give a big shout out to the Bootleg Racing League for allowing us to do this every week, and to Lowell Jewell for everything he does, and again to you guys. You do a great broadcast, so thank you guys.
Appreciate it, JR. Thank you, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, man.
Absolute J.R. Shepard, your winner tonight, and Mr. Ambrose, it seems like a weekly thing where you and Donnie Moore get to have a conversation with each other after a second place finish.
Boy, Donnie and I, we've been visiting for years here now on the Global Sim Racing channel here with these podium celebrations. Donnie, it never gets old, does it?
No, it doesn't get old talking to you, Sean, at all. Hey, boy, hats off to Dustin Powers tonight. What a great run by him, and of course to J.R. Shepard. You know, J.R., according to him, just bought this track 4 hours ago, so we're all in trouble. Yeah. We're all in trouble.
I don't think that's true, because he raced here the last time we ran Bristol, didn't he?
He said he just bought the track. I don't know. Is he a fibber?
We'll have to go back and do some statistical research with our.
Yeah, well, boy, he's so tough to beat. He's so tough to beat. Yeah.
Yeah, once he got out there into that clean air, and that's what I want you to talk about next. Following here at Bristol, that's kind of tough, isn't it?
Well, tonight in this set, man, it was real. If you wanted to run that bottom, you had to be really careful. Got really loose there, so I had to be tricky with the throttle, and well, I don't know how he did it, but I don't know if he was backing off slightly. I had to adjust a little bit.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of drivers having trouble coming out of turn 2, what was the big deal with turn 2, the exit there?
Yeah, was there a lot of self spins? It was slick. It was slick. You had to really just let off ever so slightly. I did anyway. If you wanted to run that bottom to be fast.
Well, second place, not a bad place to be. It's the points battle, really, really exciting this season, Donnie, and you're in the middle of it. So. Again, congratulations with another podium finish, and we will see you next week. I know you want to give a shout out or two before we let you go, though.
Well, I mean, is it true now? Is this Chris's last broadcast? I want to say
it is. It is.
Well, my goodness, Chris has been great. This whole sim racing thing, and with you guys adding a whole new. And Chris has been such a professional here, and I wish him the best of luck in his endeavors going forward.
Thanks, Donnie.
Well, Donnie, we thank you, buddy, and we will see you next week. We'll be back. I'll be back. Never say die. Dawson Brock will be here with us, so we'll have fun then, my friend.
All right, man. Hey, hats off to Joe Peak, too. We never mentioned Joe, so all right, you guys.
All right, Donnie Moore, driver, the number 26, Irwin Tools, SK Modified, and well, Chris, we talked to Dustin once this evening. I guess we're gonna wrap this up by talking to him again.
Yeah, why not? The guy that finished third had a battle, had a heck of a save midway through the race, and got himself his first podium, I believe, here in the Outlaws tonight. Nice job, Dustin.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, that was a heck of a save, wasn't it? I couldn't believe it. It got pretty loose there, but thank God I saved it.
Yeah, talk about the racing out there, because it seemed like when you got in that mid-pack after a few laps, your car got real loose.
Yeah, it was pretty loose, I have to say. It was hard to hold on to her, but, keep on keeping on.
Well, you got yourself a win tonight, and then a third, obviously, in this race tonight. You go to 5 Flags next week. How do you keep that momentum going?
Just got to keep in that practice and that time in. I'm still new to these cars and iRacing overall, so just keep practicing. It's a good confidence boost, and I look forward to 5 Flags. I've actually turned quite a few laps there, and I'd like to give a shout out to JR. That was a good race, and man, Donnie and JR sure are fast every weekend, aren't they?
They are. So you finished third in the next class, even though they're you ran just as well as they did tonight, so congratulations to that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Dustin Powers finishing in the top 3 this evening is, he'll continue that momentum in that 25 car maybe into next week. As we mentioned, 5 Flags Speedways where it's going to be here next week, and we appreciate Dustin joining us. Sean, closing remarks as we leave Bristol here and we get ready to go down to Florida.
Yeah, buddy. Time to head to Florida, but you know what? We saw a great race at Bristol tonight. I think it's a great way for you to head on out into the sunset, sir, with a race at Bristol. Always fun here. It's been a lot of fun working with you, and we'll leave, as an old friend of mine used to say, we'll leave the light on for you, Chris. And, please feel free to stop by anytime, okay?
I'll be around, obviously. Still going to be racing and stuff, but for those who don't know, I'll go ahead and share real quickly. I'm stepping away from the whole broadcasting thing in general. Just going to go focus on life and enjoy some racing and things like that. Focus on some real world stuff. But I do appreciate everybody watching us on the Global SimRacing channel for the last year that I was here and that kind of thing. I'm not going anywhere, so you'll see me around, and who knows, maybe I'll even be in chat heckling Sean like everyone else does. So we'll see what happens.
Please do, yeah.
No problem. But more importantly, thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for allowing us to cover, of course, their great series. For more info, you can check out BRL on their Facebook page, facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League and bootlegracingleague.com. Also, thanks to the company's equipment software that you'll see on the screen now that we use on our broadcast, the original music you've heard all year on the broadcast. Thanks to Eric Echolm and Casey Lalonde. You can see the screen on how to contact each of them.
Yes, sir. And for more information about all GSRC events, go to globalsimracingchannel.com. We are also on social media. Yes, social media, Twitter @GSR Channel, and Facebook. Find us there by just typing in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word, and you'll find us there. We also have upcoming races for other series on screen, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar, and make sure you get to one of those broadcasts. Check us out.
each and every Saturday night. You see it on the screen right there. The next race, Five Flags Speedway, Pensacola, Florida. 100 laps of racing next week. That'll be round number 7. So 5 races to go after tonight in the Outlaw Modified Series. You'll see the action starting at 9:15. As you mentioned, Dawson Brock going to be joining you, Sean, and of course Joe and everybody here. I wish Dawson nothing but the best. He's going to be great, and I know everybody's going to love him and welcome him in with open arms. I hear he brings a lot of food. Anyways, for Dougie Beard, Joe Peak, Sean Ambrose, I'm Chris Scala. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.